1919 was an auspicious year in history. The First World War ended, ushering a drastic change in the world order. The Philippine Islands had been a U.S. territory for 2 decades and was promised independence under the Jones Law of 1916. Progressive reformers saw the country and its people as a major target for modernization, and education was its main weapon. 7 forward-looking Filipinas came together in 1919 to create a school where young women could gain the knowledge and skills that would make them modern women. Paz Marquez Benitez was the first president of the Philippine Women's College. Jose Abad Santos was its first chairman of the Board of Trustees. Francisca Tirona Benitez was the second president, and with her husband Dean Conrado, guided the school from a house on A. Flores Street to its iconic Taft Avenue campus. In 1932, the college became a university, making PWU the first university for women in Asia founded by Asians. It provided a space where innovations in education flourished, and young people were encouraged to be the best that they could be. For over 100 years, the Philippine Women's University has been known as a leader in quality education. In 1934, PWU moved into its main campus on Taft Avenue, and since the 1970s has been co-educational. Located in the heart of Metro Manila, it is easily accessible by public transport and surrounded by affordable housing. Today's PWU offers undergraduate and graduate courses in several fields of study. Its business and management programs are responsive to the needs of industry, using evolving technology for global competence. PWU graduates excel in arts and sciences, education, social work, and diplomacy. Its fine arts and music programs have produced outstanding graduates through a holistic education that treasures heritage as well as excellence. PWU has pioneered in fields such as food science, nutrition and dietetics, medical technology, pharmacy, and nursing. PWU continues to play an essential role in producing graduates who possess the skills that make them competitive in the country and anywhere in the world.
We are a united community.
We may not be blood related,
but we Patriots are one big family.
Being part of the PWU community strengthens us.
Through the years, we support each other through good times and bad times.
We Patriots always have each other's back.
It's a big honor to be part of a community that is open to the ideas of each other.
It drives us to excel and be the best version of ourselves.
That's the standard of excellence that we Patriots strive for.
I'm thankful that this community lets us be who we want to be.
We thrive because we accept each other for who we are.
And like a family, we treat each other equally.
Actually, PWU gave us a home and helped us to be a patriot in society.
We may have different individual drums and instruments,
But we march with the same beat together as one united community.
Do you want to march with our community of patriots?
I am a patriot.
I am a patriot.
I am a patriot. I am a patriot.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to be the MC for today's webinar. My name is Andrew Kevin Nicanor, and together with my co-MC and our peer facilitator organization Vice President Winette Rain Balbanilla, on behalf of the peer facilitator organization and the Guidance Counseling and Testing Office, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all of you. Healthy relationships requires open and honest communication. This is something we all know. But there are certain ways to ensure our communication is effective, and learning about the love languages is a super helpful way to do that.
Today's transformative learning system is entitled Understanding Languages of Love in Building a Healthy and Happy Relationship. Is led by the PWU Peers Facilitator and Guidance, Counseling and Testing Office in coordination with Campus Life, ICT, and Multimedia Center. To target transformative learning system core values today, focus on well-being as we note the importance of social, mental, and emotional health of the students. I humbly remind our fellow students that for you to receive e-certificates, please make sure to answer our evaluation forms. Please click the Google Forms link. You may use QR code provided at the end of the webinar. A few reminders for our program. All questions will be entertained in the question and answer portion of our program. You may type your question at that chat box when the Q&A starts.
To officially begin our program, please join us with our video prayer and followed by the national anthem.
dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, buyat ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw, may dilagang tulat, awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagtiligig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig, lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsintaboy langit sa piling mo, aming ligaya na pag may mga aming ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
To officially welcome us to our program, it is an honor and privilege to have our GCTO head, Ms. Cristina Garcia Meron, to open our program with meaningful remarks and also introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Andrew. So, dearest students, colleagues, and guests, I would like to welcome you all to our third transformative learning system webinar entitled Understanding Languages of Love in Building a Happy and Healthy Relationship. You might be asking why we are conducting this webinar. Of course, one of the reasons is that this is our way to celebrate the Love Month. But we are also aware that we have students who might be interested to know and learn more about how they can keep their relationships strong and happy. As a matter of fact, our last June's Student Life Experience and Wellness Survey results show that 35% of our 559 respondents found it quite challenging to maintain a harmonious relationship with their partners, while 25% claim that they are able to, but with some challenges at times. Now, let me ask you this. What is love? For sure, there are several ways to define this, but let me share with you my favorite definition of love, and this is derived from Eric Fromm's book entitled The Art of Loving, and it goes like this. Love is a decision, it is a judgment, it is a promise. If love were only a feeling, there would be no basis for promise to love each other forever. A feeling comes and it may go. How can I judge that it will stay forever when my act does not involve judgment and decision? This definition makes so much sense to me, especially in the context of romantic relationships. Falling in love is one thing, staying in love is another. It is indeed a decision to make and it requires commitment. This can possibly explain why some relationships last while others do not. Love and relationships may take different types and forms, but one thing is for sure. Through this webinar, we will be able to understand ourselves and our loved ones better, and it can encourage us to exert efforts in building and maintaining healthy and fulfilling relationships. Let me take this opportunity to introduce to you our resource speaker, who I can proudly describe as smart, jolly, well-rounded person, and is a good model of a well-balanced life. Miss Carissa, or Care, as I fondly call her, is a professional, a youth leader, a mental health advocate, a good friend, a loving girlfriend, a sister, and a daughter. And she graduated magna cum laude and completed her bachelor's degree in psychology at Far Eastern University in 2016. She earned her master's degree in counseling at De La Salle University, Manila in 2021. She's also a licensed psychometrician. Her academic background is truly amazing, but what makes her even more inspiring is her depth of experience in counseling field and her various engagement and volunteer work, all for the love of the youth and her relentless commitment to promoting mental health awareness to everyone. To be more specific, Ms. Care worked as a life skills advisor at Angelicum College. She also received her supervised counseling training at De La Salle College of St. Benilde. She's been assigned as a guidance associate at Affordable Private Education Center or APEX schools from 2018 up to present, where she offers excellent guidance and counseling services to high school students such as routine interviews, career advising, crisis management, and program development. She has developed and has helped facilitated different activities and programs such as peer facilitators training, homeroom guidance, parenting talks, career talks, self-care webinars for students, mental health week activities, among others. She had been actively engaged in volunteer work and even assumed leadership roles in different groups and organizations, such as being part of the Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, a Tamaraw volunteer in her college years, and being assigned as a president and advisor of Don Bosco and Youth Center Choir from 2013 up to present. Ms. Care was also a Philippine delegate for Asia World Model United Nations in Thailand in 2019 and in the ASEAN Youth Career Summit in 2021. It was also last year when Ms. Carissa became a resource speaker at the Gig and Pateros Youth Forum and at the as Apex Schools representative for UNICEF's Child Rights and Business Principle Training. She has also been an External Affairs Committee member for the Youth for Mental Health Coalition since 2018 up to present. Her passion and commitment in promoting mental health continues as she also recently took this to another level by creating a social media account called Your Wounded Healer, where she would post infographics and art cards about encouragement, self care, and self compassion. We'll definitely be inspired as we listen to her talk about love languages and how important these are in building healthy and happy relationships. Once again, let us all welcome Miss Maria Carissa Sanchez.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So thank you so much for that heartwarming um, introduction from Miss Dean. Alright, let me share my screen first. So, good morning, everyone. I know na sobrang aga pa, no? Baka kagigising lang ng iba sa atin. So, thank you so much for attending this webinar, and I hope that you will really learn something and gain something from this webinar that you may apply in your own relationship. So again, I'm Carissa, and for today, let's talk about languages of love and how can we use these languages of love in building a happy and healthy relationship. All right. So before we begin, I have here a simple scenario lang, something that you might want to think about, no? So, kunwari, you are in a relationship right now, or you are in the getting to know stage, no? And you are a Filipino, no? Ako, Filipino ako. And then suddenly, I received this message, no? From that special someone. Let's call this special someone BB. Okay. May na-receive kang ganyang message. Does anyone here know ano yung ibig sabihin ng message na yan? Without researching or anything, ha? Meron bang nakakaalam dito? Andrew, meron ba sa ating chat box? May mga nakakaalam ba na ibig sabihin ng message na yan from BB?
Actually, meron dito parang Shara na if sinabi. Shara. so let's wait then sa other. Ano kaya ibig sabihin niya?
Diba?
Is baka good morning.
Baka good morning pwede, no?
Pwedeng good morning.
Pwedeng good morning. Kasi umaga ngayon, no? Baka yan yung na-receive, no? Good morning, kain ka na. Yun pala yung ibig sabihin niya. We do not know.
Yes, sabi naman ng other students or other participants, I do. Or it means I love you.
Wow, I love you. All right. So, okay, may nakakuha ng sagot mo.
Oh, yes.
Alright, siguro may Chinese student dito, no? I'm not sure how accurate this is, pero I got this from Google. So, sabi ni Google, etong characters na to, ang ibig sabihin niya is wo ai ni. Or in Chinese, it means I love you. Pero I have a question for you, no? Katulad nung sa amin ni Andrew, no? Have you ever been in a relationship with a partner whom you didn't speak the native language? No, kunwari, yun nga, Chinese yung boyfriend mo and ikaw, native speaker ka na Filipino. You have no idea about Chinese characters, Chinese language. And then suddenly may ma-receive kang ganitong message. Now, you may have tried to communicate, but the words coming out of your mouth were not entirely effective. Or kaya kung ano yung tinatype mo, parang hindi pa rin yung naiintindihan. Intention and effort were there on both sides. No? May intention siya na express sa'yo na love ka niya. No, ikaw din naman may intention ka and effort to understand kung ano yung sinabi niya. Pero hindi mo nga naiintindihan kung ano, kasi you're not speaking the same native language. But because of the language barrier, your communication had little impact. So parang kahit na nag-I love you yung special someone mo dun sa text, parang wala siyang impact sa'yo kasi ano ba ibig sabihin niya, no? Parang kay Andrew nga, no, ang intindi niya is, nag-good morning ba siya sa akin? Mag-good morning back din ba ako? No? Yung nag-I do, no? Akala mo nililigawan ka na. Tapos, yun pala, nag-I love you na siya sa'yo. No? So, the same misunderstanding can be translated into love. Now, I have here a classic example. Primo and George. Now, just like language barriers, the same can be true about the ways we love one another. We each have a language of love that we use to give and receive care and compassion. You may be trying to show someone you love them, but if you're not doing so in the way they want to be loved, your intention and effort won't land. The same thing with cultural language. So I think we're all familiar with Primo and George, no? From the House of Us. Ako pinanood ko po to sa scene, no? I'm not sure with others. So we have here Primo, played by Daniel Padilla. And we have George. Okay. So when I was watching this, nung nag-start na silang maghiwalay, mag-crumble yung relationship nila, I was thinking to myself, what's going on? Parang bakit parang bakit nagkakagulo yung relationship? Why is something wrong with the relationship when both of them love each other, no? Si Primo, how does he shows his love kay George, no? He shows his love through words, no? Lagi niyang sinasabihan, doktora ang head ng fans club ko. He always talks about his future with George. Lagi niyang chini-cheer up si George. Lagi niyang ina-affirm si George na sasabihin niya na, George, babawi ako, no? When at yung time na parang bumabagsak yung career ni Primo. The same thing with George naman. Love niya rin si Primo. And she was showing her love to Primo through actions naman, no? Paano? Freeing her schedule to attend Primo's band performance, inaalagaan niya si Primo, no? Especially nung nagkasakit si Primo, nagkaroon siya ng hangover. And she takes care of the house chores. But because of the differences nga in the way they express and the way they expect love, nagkagulo sila, no? So, they broke up, nagkahiwalay sila. So now, I have a question for you, no? Like Primo and George, no? Maybe this is the best time to ask yourself, what makes you feel most loved? Okay, so, have you tried asking yourself that na, no, nag-Valentine's Day, pag nag-birthday kayo, or even in the ordinary days, what makes you feel most loved? No? Are you like Primo na siya kasi si Primo, mas gusto niya yung words, no? Lagi siya nagbibigay ng encouraging words kay George. So parang siya, ina-expect niya rin, nabibigyan din siya ng encouraging words ni George. The same thing with George naman. Si George naman, ang gusto niya ay actions. So ina-expect niya na si Primo mag-action, no? Parang tumulong ka naman sa bahay, bayaran mo naman yung kuryente, no? So, magkaiba sila ng ways of expressing and expecting love. So how about you? What makes you feel most loved? Okay, Andrew, may mga answers ba tayo dyan sa Facebook chat natin or sa YouTube chat?
Yeah, currently nagta-type pa lang sila. No? So,
okay. Pero how about you, Andrew ba?
I was asking myself, what makes me feel most loved? Parang it depends, no? It depends sa tao. No? Pwede naman siguro both. May actions and my presence, no?
Yes.
And actually, may sagot yung isa sa ating audience dito. Being
Okay.
ang sagot niya ay being respected, not things or words that makes me more feel loved than being respected.
Wow! Very deep. Ang bilis niyang makarealize, no? With a very simple question, no? Meron pa ba? May mga nag-answer pa ba?
Actually, ayan pala, quality time.
Wow, quality time. Alam niya na agad yung love language niya.
Oo. Oh, ito pa, sabi pa ni Sayan, showing efforts and making time.
Alright. Okay, so more on, yun nga, actions, and minsan yung iba halo, no? Yung iba, they prefer words. Mas gusto nila words. Yung iba naman mas gusto nila actions. Kahit bihira mo na lang ako paalalahanan na love mo ko, basta ginagawa mo, pinapakita mo sa akin. Others naman, sabihin mo lang ng sabihin, no? Like Primo, si George kasi naging nagger na siya. Kasi nga, walang ginagawa si Primo eh. So, nag na lang siya ng nag. So, si Primo naman, no? Wala naman siyang ginagawa. Kaya mas naiinis si George ngayon. So, yun nga, nagkaroon ng barrier, no? The great thing about yung expression natin ng love, even though we express love differently, just like yung cultural language, we can identify and become fluent in each other's love languages. That's what we're going to talk about for today. How can we be fluent and how can we identify each other's love languages? All right, so now let's go to the webinar outline. Our webinar will have 3 parts. So first part is understanding love languages. Second part is how love languages benefit relationships. And then third, what are the steps naman to strengthen relationships? All right, so now let's proceed. Love languages, no? This is by Dr. Gary Chapman. Before we could discuss about love languages, let us first get to know yung author of love languages, no? We have here Dr. Gary Chapman. So Dr. Gary Chapman, he is a well-known marriage counselor, pastor. So, ibig sabihin, yung atake nitong love language is meron tong spiritual and religious foundation. So, if you're planning to read about it, na be prepared na may ganun talaga siyang touch. And he is a director of marriage seminars. So, yung 5 love languages is one of Chapman's most popular title. He has been directly involved in real-life family counseling since the beginning of his ministry years. So according to Dr. Gary Chapman, no, yun nga, nag-work siya as a marriage counselor, most of the conflict na na-observe niya sa kanyang mga clients ay they love each other but they always feel like they're not always on the same page. No, parang nakikita naman niya, mahal naman nila yung isa't isa, pero lagi silang pakiramdam nila, hindi niya ako naiintindihan. They are not on the same page. The most common issue in any relationship pala, according to Dr. Gary Chapman, is communication barrier. So, anong madalas yung nangyayari, no? One partner would say, I feel like he doesn't love me. While the other partner would say, I don't know what else to do. I'm doing everything I should be doing, no? We could go back to the story of Primo and George. Siguro sinasabi ni George, pakiramdam ko hindi niya na ako mahal. No? Kasi di naman siya tumutulong sa bahay, wala siyang ginagawa about himself, napapagod ako, nadidrain niya lang ako, no? For Primo naman, ang nasa isip niya is, I don't know what else to do. I'm doing everything I should be doing. Chini-cheer up ko naman siya, i-remind ko naman siya from time to time, nababawi ako sa kanya, no? So, laging may communication barrier. Now, Dr. Gary Chapman, naisip niya na parang ito lagi yung pattern, no? Laging yung partner sinasabi niya, I feel like he doesn't love me. So, inalala niya yung rocky part of his own marriage, na-recognize niya yung pattern ng couples na uma-attend ng marriage counseling. Now, he then come up with the question, what did I want? Nung sinabi ko, pakiramdam ko hindi niya ako mahal. Ano ba yung gusto ko? No, what was I expecting? What did I want from him, from my partner? No? Bakit ko nararamdaman na hindi niya ako mahal? Ano ba yung gusto kong gawin niya para maramdaman kong mahal niya ako? Okay? Surprisingly, their responses fell in 5 categories, revealing a unique approach to effectively love another person. So we have first, receiving gifts. Second, acts of service. Third, words of affirmation. Fourth, quality time. And then lastly, physical touch. So, sa dinami-dami ng couples na pumupunta doon for counseling, no? Lahat sila, yung responses nila, nagpo-fall into these 5 categories. Alright? So, the premise now of this is simple. Different people with different personalities give and receive love in different ways. The bottom line is, everyone experiences love differently. Okay? So Dr. Chapman called this different ways of giving and expressing love, the 5 love languages. Okay? So ito nga yung receiving gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. So according to Dr. Chapman, each person has a primary and secondary love language. Yung primary love language natin, this is the one that resonates to the person the most. Okay, so among the 5, meron ka lang isang primary, ay yung most, kapag ginagawa sa'yo, feeling mo most loved ka. Alright? And then yung secondary natin is a person's second love language that has lesser value than the primary love language. It still communicates love. So for example, yung primary love language mo is acts of service. Yung secondary love language mo is receiving gifts. You appreciate thoughtful acts the most, but you also feel love when you receive an unexpected item. Alright. Now let's talk about love tank. So Dr. Gary Chapman coined this term in his book, The 5 Love Languages, where he states every person has a love tank. Lahat mo tayo may love tank. So love tank is full when you feel extraordinary amounts of love coming from your partner. The issue is it empties a little every single day, so you must find ways to replenish it. Just like yung kotse, di ba? Kapag ginagamit mo siya, nababawasan yung love tank, yung tank natin, yung fuel tank natin. So the same thing with our love tank. No, yung love natin, each day nauubos siya kasi we tend to give this love to other people, we give love to ourselves, no? So we need to find ways paano ba natin siya mare-refuel. Alright, so I will show you a simple siguro illustration of how our love tanks work. No? So, kunwari we have here yung positive experiences natin, no? Between you and your partner, merong emotional support, merong understanding, merong affection, merong assurance. So, ngayon, yung love tank natin, nagkakaroon siya ng laman. However, pag nagkakaroon naman tayo ng negative experiences like unnoticed efforts, nagkakaroon ng personal attacks, no? Nagwi-withdraw yung partner, may conflict or kaya may cheating, so na-break yung trust or other issues, no? Nababawasan yung love tank na yun. Alright? But some events that empty our love tank may be negative at first, but can actually improve our relationship over time. So, kung itong negative experiences na to, we try to repair them, no? Kunyari yung conflict, we talk with each other, nagkaroon ng difficult argument at first, no? Naging stressful, pero at the same time, dahil nga, mas naintindihan nyo yung isa't isa, no? Minsan, mas malaki pa yung nadadagdag sa positive experiences compared dun sa na-drain, no? When stress is soothed, na-rebuild yung trust, and when relationships are strengthened. Right? So, ngayon, babalik siya to positive experiences, and so, yung na-drain from the negative experience, babalik siya sa positive experience, and the pattern will continue. So, through this, now, we actually learn how to love our partner better, and, of course, sila din naman, they learn how to love us better, which produce connection to refill our love tank. Okay, so, it's okay to have negative experiences. Just make sure na we try to repair it, ayusin natin, to turn these negative experiences into positive experiences. Now let's talk about what is the benefit of talking about love languages in relationships. There's a lot, no? Pero I'm going to discuss yung a few lang, no? Alright, so first, no, for those na mga single ngayon, you'll waste less time choosing a partner. Bakit? When you learn your love language, you'll become more aware of what you want and need from your relationships. Hindi ka na yung laging mag-a-adjust sa love language ng partner mo, no? Ikaw kasi alam mo na ano bang hinahanap ko when I look for a partner. Gusto ko kunwari, words of affirmation, gusto ko sinusuportahan ako. Yung partner na, yung mga nakakausap mo ngayon, parang hindi sila ma-words, parang bihira ka kausapin, wala masyadong support, no? Mas nagbibigay siya ng gift. So, ngayon, alam mo na sa sarili mo, okay, so, baka hindi siya yung best partner for me at this moment. Alright. So, next is maintains intimacy. If couples regularly talk about what keeps their love tanks full, this creates more understanding and ultimately intimacy in their relationship. Of course, di ba, lagi kapag feeling ng partner mo, ay, nag-e-effort siya to get to know me, to get to know about my love language para mas mahalin ako, di ba? Parang mas nagiging intimate yung relationship niya. Alright, next. It aids personal growth. Paano? Too often, people are encouraged and incentivized to be self-absorbed and unaware of anyone or anything outside of themselves. Di ba tendency kasi parang, ganito yung gusto kong way of love. So, parang dito ako comfortable. So, mag-stick na lang ako sa comfort zone ko. Hanap na lang ako ng kapareho ko ng love language, no? Pero kapag kunwari, different kayo ng love language ng partner mo, di ba it aids personal growth kasi parang kailangan mong mag-adjust, no? From time to time, you change the way you express your love language. Alright. And then lastly, it promotes selflessness. Now, when you are committed to learning someone else's love language, you are focused on their needs rather than your own. Diba? Kapag inaalam mo kung ano yung love language ng partner mo, inaaral mo siya, paano niya ba mararamdaman na love ka siya, paano ka ba mas mapaparamdam sa kanya, no? What are the things that I can improve? What are the things that I can do to make sure na alam niya na he or she is loved? Alright? So, yon, we have here 4 benefits, no? Pero there's so much, if you research, no? Marami talaga siyang benefits, no? Pero itong 4 muna, no? You will waste less time choosing a partner, maintains intimacy, it aids personal growth, and of course, it promotes selflessness. Now, we're going to go to the steps on how to strengthen relationships. Very simple, no? We have here 3 letters, L, U, and V. No? Madaling maalala, love kasi, no? Yung mga nagte-text dyan before. L-U-V, no? So, first is L, learn your love language. U, understand your partner's language. And letter V is we verify from time to time. Right? So we're going to go through this one by one. Okay, so step 1 is learn your love language. Get ready for an aha moment discovering your own primary love language, which will help you better understand yourself as well as teach others how to love you best. No? Katulad nga nung kanina, no, yung benefit na malalaman mo agad ano ba yung gusto mo sa relationship, ano ba yung gusto mong partner. Kapag alam mo na yung love language mo, it will really help you understand more about yourself, gain self-awareness, no? Mas naiintindihan mo kung ano yung non-negotiables mo, ano yung mga pwede mong i-compromise. So there are 2 sides of love language kasi there is an extra layer of complexity that must be taken into consideration. How you instinctively give love may not be the same as how you receive love. That's why merong 2 sides of love languages. No? So, yung first is we have yung giving side, and then we also have yung receiving side. Okay, so yung the giving love language speaks of the love language that you use when you are expressing your love, no? So, kunwari ako, ang giving ko is giving gifts, no? I make people feel love when I give them gifts, no? While yung receiving love language speaks of love language that you prefer to receive or the way that you best experience love. Ang receiving ko naman is words of affirmation. So, ito yung gusto kong binibigay sa akin para maramdaman kong loved ako. Now, these factors usually align, but not always. Your receiving language may not always be the same language that you speak, no? Katulad, in my case, no? Magkaiba yung giving and receiving love language ko. Others naman, pareho yung giving and receiving love language nila. No? So, yun nga, very complex kasi talaga ang topic na love. So, what more pa yung love language? So, what are the ways to know your love language? Now, there's a lot of ways to know your love language, but we're going to discuss 3. All right. So, first is examine your childhood. I would want you to ask yourself, how did your parents express love to you? How did you feel love? No? Siguro, naalala nyo nung mga bata kayo, no? Kunyari, darating yung parents nyo, paano ba nila napaparamdam sa inyo na love nila kayo? No, kunwari, may ibang parents na yung may dala silang pasalubong after work, no? Kaya parang ang naging love language nila is gifts. Others naman, no, yung parents nila, nakikita nila na yung parents nila is very acts of service, no? Kapag nandyan yung parents nila, paghahandaan sila ng food, susubuan sila, breakfast on their bed, pag nasa bed pa lang sila, no? So, these are the things that you would like to look into and reflect, no? Ano nga ba yung ways na pinaparamdam sa akin ng parents ko na love nila ako, no? Especially when I was a child. No, not even your caretakers, no? Yung kung may mga caretakers kayo, may grandparents kayo nag-aalaga sa inyo bukod sa parents nyo, paano nila napaparamdam sa inyo na kamahal-mahal kayo? Okay? Kasi ito yung dinadala natin na parang this is the way they showed me they love me. Kaya minsan ang scary ng abuse, no? Na parang yung kapag pinapalo yung anak, sasabihin, kasi mahal kita, no? So ngayon kapag naghahanap na sila ng relationship, no? Nag-ano na sila into they look into friendships, they look into romantic partners, naghahanap din sila ng sasaktan sila, no? Nakakalungkot kasi yun yung sinasabi ng parents nila sa kanila na mahal kita, kaya kita sinasaktan. So ngayon, kapag sinasaktan sila ng partner nila, kasi mahal niya ako, no? We tend to rationalize that. So, it's very important that you really look into your past. Alright? So next, how do you express love? Okay, something to ask yourself. What's your first instinct when you want to show someone you love them? Kunwari, you are attracted, kahit attracted nga lang you are attracted to someone, no? So, ano yung first instinct mo para maparamdam mo sa kanyang you are attracted to him or her, no? Others may opt to write love letters, no? Gusto kong iparamdam sa kanya na love ko siya, so magbibigay ako ng love letters. Yung iba naman, baka magbibigay ng gifts, no? Nung Valentine's Day, baka nagbigay ng kotse sa partner nila, no? Yun yung instinct niya Gusto ko maparamdam na love ko siya. So, I'm going to give my partner the best material gift that I could give him or her, no? So, yun, maganda yan na you also analyze yourself, no? Ano yung first instinct ko kapag gusto kong maparamdam sa partner ko na love ko siya? Alright? And then lastly, you look into your past relationships, no? Just like yung past natin sa childhood natin, maganda rin na we look into the patterns of our past relationships. How have you been hurt in the past? Ano yung usually reason why you break up with your partner? Ano yung madalas na reason na parang yung red flag na siya sa'yo, na parang sinasabi mo na, hindi, ayoko na, parang I will stop this relationship na. No? Kasi it's very important that you get to analyze what are the things that's hurting you. Kasi doon mo ma-realize, ito pala yung gusto ko. Kaya kapag ito yung ginagawa niya, na-hurt ako, kasi ito yung gusto ko. Kapag nagsasalita siya sa akin ng bad things, kapag nire-reject niya ako, kapag feeling ko hindi niya ako pinapakinggan. No? Kasi ang love language ko, words of affirmation. So kapag feeling ko, parang dinidiscourage niya ako, feeling ko, hindi niya ako love. No? So, ibig sabihin, ang love language ko pala is words of affirmation. So, maybe I could talk to my partner about it. Nasabihin ko sa kanya na, I don't feel love when you say things like this, kapag dinidiscourage mo ko, kapag nadadown ako, no? Pag dinadown mo ako masyado, kapag masyado kang real talk, no? Parang baka pwede namang medyo i-sugarcoat mo ng konti kasi words of affirmation yung love language ko, no? So, these are different ways to know your love language. Pero we also have, of course, we also have inventories. All right. So, I am going to give you here a simple question lang, no? Take a hint on what your love language is, no? So, if or when you're in a relationship, do you feel more loved when your partner, number 1, tells you I love you or praises something you did? Or number 2, surprises you with a meaningful gift? Number 3, goes on a trip with just you? Number 4, runs the errand or helps you with house chores? Or number 5, holds your hand while you're walking? So, hindi to madaling sagutan. So, I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. I'm going to play a sound. So, after nung sound, no, sana may sagot na kayo. No, I would want you to remember kung anong number yung sagot nyo. No? Pwede nyo i-chat, no, i-type sa chat box if gusto nyo, or pwede rin naman sa sarili nyo lang. Isipin nyo, do you feel more love when your partner does number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or number 5? All right, so I will now start the sound and think about your answer. Okay, time's up. I hope na may mga sagot na kayo, no?
Yes, oo, marami silang sagot, Miss Carissa.
Wow, no? Nakakatuwa naman. You get to reflect. How about you, Andrew? Sige, tanong ko nga sa'yo. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 ka ba?
Siguro yung 1.
Wow.
Or pwede naman actually same with other participants. Sabi nila all of the above. Pero different combination, no?
Yes.
No? Pero may kilala din naman ako. I know she's watching. No? Parang ayaw niya din sinu-surprise. Parang mas naiirita siya kapag sinu-surprise. Pero ako siguro yung 1. Parang simple word of I love you. Parang big impact na rin yun. Into, parang yung languages niya. So, mga sagot nila dito, actually iba-iba, no? Per participants. Merong combination of 1 and 3, and 5 and 2,
okay.
and may 1 lang, or 1 and 5, and 5, 3, 2 and 5. Actually, marami yung 2 and 5 na combination, ha? Parang gusto nila yung surprise.
Okay. Mga na-surprise siguro to ng Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Kaya na-feel nila. Siguro yun ang love language ko.
Totoo. Masaya ang Valentine's sila because of pa-surprise.
Yeah. Sana all, no? Okay. So yun, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pero maganda rin na sana isa lang, no? More love. No? Among all this, maganda na you try to reflect on only one. Among these things, no? Kunyari, kung meron man kayong dalawa, no, yung mga sabi nila dalawa yung kanila, I would want you to choose ano yung mas prefer nyo among that two. Kunyari yun nga, yung 2 and 5 according to Andrew. Mas mas lamang ba kapag sinurprise ka or hinawakan yung kamay mo? No? So, kunwari isipin mo na hindi ka sinurprise, so hinawakan lang yung kamay mo. Mas feel love mo ba yon compared kapag sinurprise ka, tapos wala namang holding hands, no? Maganda na you choose only one. Kasi, di ba, we have our primary and secondary love language. So, maganda na you only focus on one, no? Pero, maganda rin naman na you try to explore no other love language. Kasi hint lang naman to, hindi pa naman to yung final love language. Pero yun nga, maganda na you try to reflect on one love language para mas makapag-focus tayo doon. Alright. So, those who answered one, no, your love language may be word of affirmation. So, anong ibig sabihin ng words of affirmation? This is about expressing affection through spoken words, praise, or appreciation. Kailangan sinasabi sa atin na na-appreciate tayo, na gusto tayo, no? Yun yung way na nararamdaman nating love tayo. When this is your primary love language, you enjoy kind words and encouragement, as well as yung pag sinesendan ka ng uplifting quotes, love notes, and cute text messages. Yung head ko, no, sa work, lagi siya nagsisend ng uplifting quotes. So, parang akin, parang minsan yung pagising ko pa lang sa umaga, good mood na ako, yung parang pag-work ko, parang nakaka-good mood siya kapag may mga uplifting quotes ako nare-receive. No? So, your partner can make your day by complimenting you or pointing out what you do well. Kunwari, uy, ang galing mo kanina, no? Nag-recite ka kanina nung class, ang galing mo, no? So, kapag words of affirmation yung love language natin, ako, grabe, no? Feel na feel love tayo. Siguro buong linggo natin, buo na. No? For those naman who answered number 2, your love language may be receiving gifts. No? Gift giving is a symbol of love and affection. You treasure not only the gift itself, but also the time and effort the gift giver put into it. No? Especially kunwari kapag bakasyon kunwari yung partner mo. Tapos, pag uwi may pasalubong sa'yo, no? Parang naisip mo, kahit magkahiwalay kami, naalala pa rin niya ako, no? So, yun yung mga pag love language natin is receiving gifts. You do not necessarily expect large or expensive gifts. Yun kasi yung madalas na stereotype or misconception when people have the receiving gifts na love language. Parang iniisip na masyado silang materialistic. Hindi naman actually, no? It is more what is behind the gift that appeals to you. No, ang naiisip mo kasi yung effort and time na naalala ka ng tao through that token, no? So you often remember every little gift you have received from your loved ones because it makes such an impact on you. Ito, siguro kayo yung mga no? Kapag may mga simple gifts na binigay sa inyo, kahit keychain lang, galing sa ibang lugar, no? You really appreciate it. Alright? So, kung number 3 naman yung sagot nyo, your love language is quality time. No? So, love language, na quality time, love and affection are expressed to you through undivided attention. Kailangan ako lang yung kausap mo or ako lang yung kasama mo. Kunyari, magde-date tayo for 2 hours, kailangan tayong dalawa lang yung magkausap, magkasama. No? You feel loved if your partner is present and focused on you. This means putting down their cell phone, turning off the tablet, making eye contact pag nakipag-usap sa inyo, and actively listening. You feel loved when your partner affirms what you are saying and they refrain from offering advice. No, kapag kunyari nagsasalita ka tapos inuulit nila yon or ina-affirm nila yon, ako, grabe yung, siguro punong-puno yung love tank mo, no, kapag ganun, lalo kapag kunwari may tampo ka or may problema ka, no, kapag nakinig sa'yo yung partner mo, parang feeling mo solve na yung problema mo, no? Mabilis kang nako-comfort kapag nakikinig sa'yo yung partner mo. Alright. So, next is acts of service for those who answered number 4. No? So, yung acts of service, you feel loved and appreciated when someone does nice things for you, such as helping with the dishes, running errands, vacuuming. No? You love people when you love it when people do little things for you and often can be found doing these acts of service for others, no? Hindi lang sa sarili natin, no? Kapag acts of service yung love language na gusto rin natin kapag yung acts of service is ginagawa rin for other people. Kunwari, sa family natin, nakikita natin na yung partner natin, sineserve niya rin yung family natin, no? So, dagdag, yun, ganda and pogi points sa'yo. Kasi, gusto mo, yung acts of service, nakikita siya for everyone, yung ginagawa siya lagi ng partner mo. No, kunwari, yung partner mo is, ginagawa niya yung tinutulungan kanya with your homework, no? Nag-tutor review kayo, may ganong session kayo, no? So that's acts of service. And then, if your answer is number 5 naman, your love language may be physical touch. You feel love through physical affection, such as when your partner holds your hand, no? Hinahawakan yung arms mo, or gives you a massage at the end of the day, yung head massage or hand massage, no? Your idea of a perfect date might include cuddling on the couch with a glass of drink and a good movie, no? Basta magkasama lang kayo, may touch lang, no? Kahit magkadikit lang siguro yung fingertips nyo, no? You simply want to be close to your partner physically, no? So that's the physical touch love language. Now, if you would want to know more, no, about your love language, kasi nga hint lang naman yung ginawa natin. Now, you may take this quiz, you may visit this link after this webinar. A disclaimer lang, yung itong assessment na to is not an alternative for a clinical assessment. This is just a guide to understand your preference in terms of how you express love. Ibig sabihin, it is not absolute. So, be careful when taking this test, baka masyado nyo naman siyang yung feeling nyo, masyado na kayong rigid, ito yung love language ko, kailangan mag-adjust ka. No? So, take into caution that it is not a clinical assessment and it is not absolute. All right. So now let's move on to step number 2. We understand our partner's language. Relationships go two ways, no? It takes two to tango nga, di ba? Hindi lang naman mag-isa yung nagkatango. So once you discover your love language, share it with your loved ones, no? Share mo yan with your partner, then ask them kung ano rin naman yung kanila. Ano naman yung resulta mo, no? Share ko yung resulta ko, ano yung sayo? It is important that we do not assume what our partner's love language is. No? Very important yon. May maraming tao no, na ina-assume nila, feeling ko love language mo is physical touch kasi lagi mong hinahawakan yung kamay ko. No? Pero hindi pala yun yung love language ng partner mo. So it's very important that you ask them, no? You ask them the magical question that we asked kanina. What makes you feel loved the most? No? It's very important na you get the answer from them. You don't assume. Kasi baka mamaya akala mo, she feels loved dahil ginagawa mo yung, kunyari, lagi mo siyang nireregaluhan ng chocolates, lagi mo siyang binibigyan ng cake, lagi mo siyang binibigyan ng food, lagi mo siyang binibigyan ng sing-sing, ng necklace, and all the material things. Akala mo, feeling niya na loved siya. Yun pala, hindi. Na? So, it's very important that we ask our partners. Now, kung kanina inintindi natin ano yung love language natin, these are some suggestions naman, how can we naman effectively express the love language ng ating partner. No? So, especially kapag hindi naman tayo pareho ng love language. Kunwari ako, ang love language ko is words of affirmation, love language ng partner ko is physical touch. So, magkaiba kami ng love language. So, here are some suggestions kung ano yung pwede natin gawin about it. No? So, kung assuming lang to na alam na natin yung love language, assuming na tinanong natin, make sure na tinanong ha, hindi in-assume lang personally. Assuming na we ask na our partners about their love language. So, kung yung love language ng partner mo ay words of affirmation, again, what is it? It's verbal compliments that express love and appreciation. So how can we express this to someone na may words of affirmation na love language? No? Make sure na you send unexpected notes or texts and you encourage genuinely and often. So, yung partner mo, no, kung kunwari, parang feeling mo stressed na siya, bigla kang mag-text sa kanya na, I am proud of you, I have seen how far you've gone. Yun yung mga makakatulong sa kanya. And after conflict, no, kapag yung partner natin, love language niya is words of affirmation, anong pwedeng gawin natin after conflict para, yun nga, ma-refill natin yung love tank natin? Speak words that build security and initiate sincere apology. No, it's very important kasi sa kanila yung pagsasalita. So, we try to apologize, sabihin natin bakit tayo nagsasorry, no? Make sure na parang ramdam niya rin na sincere siya sa sinasabi natin. If your partner's love language naman is acts of service, what is it? No, any act that eases burden of responsibility. How can we express this to our partner? Use action phrases like I'll help, no? Yung mga tao kasi na love language nila is acts of service, they want to know you are their partner. Ibig sabihin, yung mga ginagawa nila ngayon, no? Gusto nila, nararamdaman nila na mas nababawasan na yung hirap ng ginagawa ko ngayon kasi may partner na ako. So, it's good to remind them this from time to time. And after conflict, what can we do to make sure na ma-refill yung love tank ng ating partner na may love language na acts of service? Make necessary behavior changes. Kunwari, napag-usapan nyo na, ganito yung gagawin mo kapag ganito yung nangyari, no? Kailangan gagawin talaga yung behavior. Yun yung gustong apology ng acts of service. Kung sa words of affirmation, sincere apology is enough na, sa acts of service, kailangan ipakita mo sa akin, nagbago na talaga yung behavior mo. Kailangan mababago na talaga siya. Alright. So, next, what if your partner's love language is quality time naman? No? What is it? Focused and undivided time together. How can we express this? Create special moments. Do small things and start a hobby together. Kunwari, maglakad-lakad kayo every morning or start a hobby, sabay kayo na parang magmo-Mobile Legends kayo kasi quality time yun sa kanya, yung parang parehas kayong may time with each other, no? And after conflict, what can we do about this, no? Make eye contact, no? Actively listen and show empathy and do not interrupt. Okay, so kapag magkaaway, no? We lessen yung interrupting, yung magdadahilan ka, no? Biggest turn off yun kapag quality time yung love language ng partner mo. Gusto nila makikinig ka, sincere ka, you make eye contact. Okay? And then, if your partner's love language is receiving gifts, what is it? Tangible symbols that reflect your thoughtfulness and effort. So how can we express this? Now, make every celebration special. Give thoughtful gifts and gestures. Yun nga, yung kahit simple things lang. Meron ngang iba, di ba, na parang, kunyari, ang favorite food niya is sinigang. Kunyari, sinigang na baboy. Tapos napadaan ka sa karinderya, pauwi ka na. May nakita kang sinigang na baboy sa karinderya. Binili mo yun, tapos inuwi mo, no? Grabe yung, mapupuno agad yung love tank, no? Kung yung partner mo is receiving gifts. Kasi naalala niya na favorite ko is sinigang and binilhan niya ako. No? So, mga simple things like that. What can we do after conflict kapag receiving gifts ang love language ng partner natin? Give them a small token of love and an apology note. No? Ma-appreciate nila yan kapag may token, kapag kunyari nag-away kayo, you may give them flowers or you may give them breakfast in bed, no? Yung mga ganong gifts, no? As long as it is tangible. Next naman is physical touch. No? What is it? A non-sexual touch that reinforces your presence. So how can we express this? Show physical affection regularly. Make intimacy a thoughtful priority. Yung hawakan mo yung kamay niya, hawakan mo yung arms niya, kiss on the forehead if possible. No? So these are the things that you should regularly show your partner. Kailangan lagi may physical affection. No? Kahit mag-cuddle lang kayo buong araw, okay na sa kanya. No? After conflict naman, no? Ano yung pwedeng gawin natin? We hold each other in silence. No? Kung yung iba kailangan mag-apologize, yung iba kailangan may changed behavior, iba kailangan may gift, iba kailangan parang may makikinig ka lang, no? For physical touch, kahit tahimik lang, no? Tahimik lang kayong dalawa, kahit walang magsalita sa inyo. Then you just cuddle. Then, that would already refill their love. No? Parang sa kanila, na we're okay na. No? Parang they feel na, okay, love niya pa rin ako, kahit na nag-away kami. Pero it doesn't mean na hindi niyo pag-uusapan, no? Kasi pag-uusapan niyo pa rin. Pero as of the moment, no, kapag after conflict, kahit wag muna mag-usap, kahit mag-cuddle lang muna kayo. No? And then kapag ready na kayo pareha, you talk about it. Alright. Now let's move on to step 3. Verify from time to time. People grow closer when they choose to consistently speak each other's love language. Now, para mas maintindihan pa yung love language, and may mga dialects na kasi ngayon, no? you may opt to read the 5 love languages. I think it's available online, no? Yung by Dr. Gary Chapman. Bakit kailangan nating i-verify from time to time yung love language? Like many great things in life, love languages are fluid. Hindi nga siya fixed, no? Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, it's not absolute. As your relationship grows and evolves, your love language will too. Love languages change as needs in the relationship change. No, so according to Michael Gishay, a licensed marriage and family therapist, at different life stages or demands on our time change, goals change, and so much more. So, for example, no, bakit nagbago ang ating love language? Iba kasi rin yung needs natin at certain developmental stage of our life. For example, nung high school tayo, kunwari, ang love language mo is quality time. Huwag kang magdota after class, no? Mag-date na lang tayo. Samahan mo ako, maglakad-lakad tayo. No? Quality time. Gusto ko, sa akin lang muna yung attention mo. Yun nung high school ka. Pero nung after college na, no, nag-start ka na ng career mo, gusto mo naman ngayon words of affirmation. Ang kailangan ko ngayon, ina-affirm mo ko na okay yung ginagawa ko. Kasi malamang, limited na yung time natin with each other kasi busy tayo with our own careers. So, ma-appreciate ko yon na kahit words of affirmation lang, mabibigay mo sa akin, that would already assure me that you love me. No? And then, kapag married naman na kayo, magbabago ulit. Pwedeng magbago ulit yung love language, no? From quality time, naging words of affirmation. Ngayong married ka, ang love language mo na is acts of service. So, ibig sabihin, mas na-appreciate mo na ngayon kapag yung partner mo is tumutulong sa gawaing bahay. Kunwari, hati tayo ng house chores or kunyari may mga kids na kayo, ikaw yung magsusundo, ako maghahatid, no? May mga ganong arrangement that will already suffice yung love tank ni partner. Okay? That's why it's very important na we verify. No, we always ask our partner from time to time, do you still feel love? Ramdam mo pa rin bang mahal kita? Okay? So, you should ask that regularly. We always hear the words, no people are the same. We all are special in our own unique ways, no? Love is always up for discussion and often under construction, no? So, if no two people are the same, then no two people's love is the same either. So, again, it's very important talaga na we check on our partner from time to time. Again, do not assume. It's very important that we do not assume kung ramdam ng partner natin na love natin sila, no? Katulad nga nung nangyari dun sa mga couples na kina-counseling ni Dr. Gary Chapman, di ba? Yung partner, assume niya na love naman, pinaparamdam naman niyang love niya, pero yung isang partner, alam niyang hindi niya nararamdaman na love niya, no? Same with Primo and George. Si Primo, lagi ko naman siyang sini-cheer up pa. Bakit hindi niya na-feel na love ko siya? Si George naman, lagi naman ako gumagawa sa bahay, ba't hindi niya na-feel na love ko siya? Lagi ko namang siyang sinusuportahan. Pero hindi siya nagsasalita, no? Parang hindi niya sinasabi yung true words. No? So, we should always remember na we express love differently. Alright? So again, for happier and healthier relationships, remember these letters, LUV, no? Remember the word love. Learn your love language, understand your partner's language, and verify from time to time. So I'm going to end this webinar with this quote from Dr. Gary Chapman. Love is a choice you make every day. Now, it's a feeling that we can control. No, kasi madalas sinasabi nila na, no, fall in love ako, I have no choice. No? We can control it. Na, and even sometimes naman for others, we lose some of those feelings over time. Lalo yung mga 10 years na, 15 years na, especially yung mga married na for 30 years, 50 years na. However, you can choose to do the actions first. Gawin mo muna kung ano yung sa tingin mong mararamdaman niya na love siya. No? Yun nga, alamin mo muna kung ano yung love language niya. Gawin mo yung mga suggestions, no, para maparamdam sa kanya na love siya. Rest assured that the feelings of love will follow. So that's it for my presentation today. If you want to know more about love languages, here are my references. Thank you and good morning, everyone. I'm open now for questions pala.
Thank you so much, Ms. Carissa, for a wonderful and informative presentation. I am sure that our students learned a lot from you.
At this juncture, we will go ahead and take some time for your questions. Please be sure to type your questions in the comment section. So while waiting for the questions or comments of our participants, no, I would like to acknowledge the presence of President Marco Benitez a while ago, and of course our audiences from different schools and of course from PWU. No, so thank you for coming for this morning for our webinar. So let's wait. Or ikaw ba, Miss Guay? Do you have questions ba with Miss Carissa?
None so far naman po kasi I understand po and very, very po, relatable po yung mga sinabi ni Ma'am.
Totoo,
like no problem at all po.
Actually, no, parang yung mga diniscuss ni Miss Carissa, parang minsan nakikita ko sa mga memes, no, yung mga parang pagpipiliin ka, or parang Dota or ako, or other memes pa nga no. Or kanina may nag-comment doon sa Love Tank. Paano daw pala Miss Carissa kapag change oil na? Di ba?
Delikado yun.
Oo.
Red flag.
Yes. Ayan, we have a questions na from Facebook Live from Sir Ryan. So, its present is important to loved ones.
Presence as in gift?
Yes, presence.
Siguro it depends. Siguro, yun nga, parang yung examine your childhood. Parang sa family nyo ba, parang ano yung gifts, yung giving gifts. Parang na-observe mo ba na parang big deal siya. Sa amin kasi sa family ko, i-spill ko na. Sa family namin, big deal siya yung may gifts talaga. Parang ano talaga siya na parang especially kasi bihira kami magkita-kita. So parang for us, kanyari yun nga, yung Christmas or reunions, dun lang kami nagkikita-kita. So parang yung giving gifts, parang symbol siya na I've thought of you kahit hindi pa tayo nagkikita ngayon, naalala kita, naalala ko yung gusto mo, no? So, yun yung maganda na parang you examine ano yung dynamic sa family namin.
Yes.
Parang big deal ba sa amin yung may regalo? Kasi yung iba naman sa kanila, okay lang walang regalo, basta magkakasama tayo. No? So, yun, you look back into your childhood siguro, kamusta ba yung relationship nyo, na ano ba yung sa tingin mo mas na-appreciate nila? Or better yet, you ask them, no? You ask your parents, parang, Mom or Dad, how can I express my love to you? Parang, paano ko mapaparamdam sa inyo na mahal ko kayo? No? Masasagot naman nila yan.
So, thank you for that answer. Guay, meron pa ba tayo sa Facebook Live?
Someone asked po from Facebook Live if is it really possible daw po ba for love to fade?
For love to fade. Like what I said no on the last part of my webinar, no? There's circumstance na yung love is nawawala siya over time. Yung nga katulad ng last message ko na 20 years na, 50 years na parang nararamdaman niya na nawawala na yung love, no? But again, love is a choice we make every day. It's a choice, meaning we have control over it. Hindi siya nag-fade basta-basta. Unless you choose na hindi mo na siya mamahalin. Okay? So, choice siya. Ibig sabihin, you can control it. No? Tapos, pag nafe-feel mo na parang nababawasan na yung love mo sa kanya, mafe-feel mo yun na parang, hindi na ako ganoon ka-excited makita siya. No? You can choose pa rin. You have control to do the actions first. No? Yung mga suggestions na nilay down ko kanina, gawin mo muna yon para maparamdam mo sa kanyang love mo siya. Okay? And at the same time, ganun din naman yung partner mo. Kailangan siya rin, mag-i-effort din siyang gawin yon, no? Parang alamin niya rin, sundan niya rin yung suggestions na nilay down ko kanina para maparamdam sa yung love ka niya. And it's very important that you communicate, no? Kung kunwari, yun nga, parang nararamdaman mo na nababawasan na yung love mo, you tell that to your partner. Parang nafe-feel ko na nababawasan na yung love ko sa'yo. No? What can we do about this? No, kasi it's very important na, yun nga, yung communication talaga. Okay? So, love is a choice. Hindi siya basta-bastang nawawala, hindi siya yung nagka-control sa atin. We have control over it. Ayan.
Thank you for that answer, no? Miss Guay, meron pa ba?
I think po here po in Google po, meron pong nag-ask if can our love languages change over time? And what to do din daw po kung ganun po yung nangyari.
Yes, 'di ba yung number step 3 ko is verify from time to time. Kasi nga our love languages will change. No, yung katulad ng example ko kanina, kunwari nung high school ako, ang love lang. Ako lang kunwari lang to, hindi ko talaga nangyari sa akin. Kunwari nung high school ako, ang love language ko is quality time, no? Kasi parang gusto ko wag ka muna magdota, parang samahan mo muna ako. Nung after college, ang gusto ko ng love language is words of affirmation kasi nga parehas na kami kunwari busy nung partner ko.
Yeah.
So, okay na sa akin yung words of affirmation basta alam ko sinusuportahan mo ako, na-encourage mo ako. And then, kapag nung married na ako, ang gusto ko namang love language is acts of service. Gusto ko, tinutulungan na ako sa gawaing bahay. No? Kasi, our love languages change because our developmental needs change. Iba yung needs mo nung high school ka, iba yung needs mo iba yung demands nung after college ka, iba na yung responsibility pagdating ng marriage life, no? That's why our love languages will change. Kaya, importante, we verify with our partner from time to time if ramdam pa rin ba nila na love sila. Tanungin mo, love language mo pa rin ba words of affirmation or baka nagbago na yung love language mo, no? So, yeah. That's why it's important yung step 3. Alright.
Or iba-iba rin kasi tayo ng priorities na in life.
Yes, oo. Iba-iba na tayo ng priorities, iba-iba na yung goals, per stages of life, di ba? Nung high school ka, ang goal mo lang naman is makatapos ng college.
Yeah.
After college, ngayon, ang goal mo na, ma-identify yung purpose in life.
Or yung iba mag-family na, di ba? Parang ganyan yung nangyayari.
Di ba? Kaya nagkaka-quarter life crisis na, you know? So, we have different developmental needs talaga. That's why, it's important to take into consideration that love languages will really change over time.
Okay, actually we have questions pa, no? What is the ultimate source of love? So what is the ultimate source of love po that is filling us up? Where can we turn to kapag parang ubus na ubus ka na? #Hugot.
Of course, diyan napapasok ang self-care. Okay, self-care and self-compassion, no? The same thing with yung tank na pinresent ko kanina, yung positive experiences, yung fill up mo, negative experiences. Syempre, i-add mo sa positive experiences mo is yung self-care mo, no? You add things that will make you happy, will make you relax, no? Syempre, we will not depend yung positive experiences with our partner. Dapat personally, you look for ways then na ikaw mag-grow ka, mag-i-improve ka. You look for hobbies for yourself na alam mong mag-i-enjoy ka kapag ginagawa mo. No? So, yun, very important talaga yung self-care, yung eat well, sleep well, rest well. No? Lalo kapag ubos na ubos ka na. Minsan kahit kumain ka lang na maayos, minsan okay ka na eh. Kasi madalas na-neglect natin yun, no? Yung kahit matulog lang ng 10 hours a day, no, na-neglect natin siya. So, yun, very important part of self-care. So, yun, kapag, feeling mo, ubos na ubos ka na, you focus muna on yourself. Alright?
Parang kahapon at ang celebration ng self-love, no? After ng Valentine's, parang may nakita kong post, parang kahapon ata yung self-love. So, napaka-importante talaga ang self-love.
Yes, oo. It goes side by side, ang self-love and loving others.
Yes, thank you for that. So we have questions pa dito. What other love languages do you think should be included on the list? Aside from the 5 presented by Gary Chapman. So in your opinion.
Actually, nagbasa-basa din ako, nanood rin ako ng mga videos ni Gary Chapman. Kasi naging invested talaga ako sa topic na to. No? So according to Dr. Gary Chapman, naging question yan, isang question yan, no? Parang, syempre 90s pa to yung 5 love languages. Ngayon, parang recent interview na 20-something, 2018 ata yun. Tinatanong siya, 2000s na. So, meron ka bang na-discover na new love language? And according to Dr. Gary Chapman, may mga nagbibiro daw, chocolates daw, no? Ang next na love language, bukod dun sa 5, no? Pero sabi niya, Hindi eh. Kapag niregaluhan ka ng chocolate, receiving gifts. Kapag nilutuan ka ng chocolate, acts of service. No? Kapag kumakain kayo ng chocolate together, quality time. No? Kapag sabay kayong kumakain ng chocolate, you share the chocolate together, that's physical touch. Ano pa ba yung nakalimutan ko? Receiving gifts, acts of service. Kung kunwari, dinescribe sa'yo na parang, you look like a chocolate, you are sweet, ganyan, or words of affirmation yun. So, it will eventually fall into the 5 love languages pa rin. No? So far, after the many research that he conducted, wala pang nadadagdag dun sa 5 love languages na yon. And so far, no, multiculturally speaking, very evident pa rin na it still works na 5 love languages pa rin siya. So far, wala pang-anim or pang-7.
Yeah. Or for some siguro, para yung 6 siguro for you to discover kung ano dun sa 5 yung love languages.
Yes, oo. Pwede rin naman.
So, guys, meron pa ba? Meron pa bang questions?
I think po, sir, wala na po siya sa Facebook Live po. Wala na po akong nakikitang nag-ask.
So, thank you for that. So, kung wala ng question, at this juncture, we will go at, it looked like we've covered all our questions. And, beloved speaker, is there anything else you wanted to cover?
Yan lang, reminder, love is a choice you make every day. So, make sure na while you are discovering yourself in the process of love language, no, you make sure na you also understand your partner's love language and verify from time to time. So again, thank you for the invitation and thank you for the questions.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for the wonderful full presentation po. At this moment, please make sure to answer our evaluation form for e-certificates. Kindly scan the QR code for the Google link form. Please don't forget to encode the TLS code SYI7HYYT on your student portal or ERP for TLS points. The evaluation link will be closed and will no longer accept responses after February 16, 2022.
Thank you, Guay. No, if you've noticed, we have been accompanied by some students in facilitating all our webinars this school year. Please allow us to take this opportunity to officially present them to you and the organization that they are part of. Here are the members and officers of Peer Facilitator Organization for school year 2021 and to 2022. These are some of the reasons why this group was created. By listening, understanding, communicating, and engaging with peers and fellow classmates, our peer facilitators provide support in voluntary ways. As a trained facilitators, their goal is to foster a culture of camaraderie and support, ignite student passion to serve others, and advocating holistic growth and mental health, and expand reach and make mental health services more accessible to all our students in our community. You may get to know them more and the organization's activity by liking their official Facebook page, PWU Peers. At this moment, I would like to present the Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Maria Carissa Sanchez, MARPM, for being our resource speaker during the webinar entitled Understanding Languages of Love in Building a Happy and Healthy Relationship. Thank you, Ms. Carissa.
Thank you again. Thank you po, Miss Tin. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, the peer facilitators.
Thank you so much.
To wrap up for today, let's all have our loving PFO President Anne Valerie Cubelas.
Thank you for your warm welcome, Ms. Guy. So, it is indeed fulfilling to know more about love despite its ambiguous meaning. We initially knew that love languages can range from word of affirmation, quality time, gift giving, and physical touch. And it could vary from different time to time, as Miss Carissa said. But throughout today's event, we get to look at Indeed with Carissa. I hope we will get to speak our love languages clear and more louder towards healthier relationships. Love's complexity isn't what we should be scared of. It is us being enough of expressing it healthily. Expressing this wisdom and understanding languages of love and building a healthy and happy relationship for today is made possible by the following. We would like to send our gratitude to our lovely resource speaker, Miss Maria Carissa Sanchez. Your words are indeed enlightening. I hope we could hear more from you. And special thanks to our sponsors of today's event, the PWU Peer Facilitator Organization, and Guidance Counseling Testing Office in coordination with Campus Life, ICT, and Multimedia Center.
Thank you so much, President Val. Again, please make sure to answer our evaluation form. And don't forget to encode our TLS code SYI7HYYT for e-certificates and TLS points.
That is for today. We appreciate you being here. We would like to thank everyone who made this webinar possible. Thanks again for joining us today. For more GCTO and PWU Peers update, kindly like our official Facebook page.
Again, I am Andrew Kevin Nicanor, and together with my co-MC Gwyneth Balbanida, see you next time. Join us with our PW hymn, God Bless Us. Thank you so much.